Hi, Robin. Hope you're well. I need your opinion on a name change. So I'm emailing you direct on the matter. I know if you had $1 for every time you've been asked this question, you'd probably be floating on a yacht somewhere instead of reading this email, but such a huge decision, we need your direction and advice. We've been nerds in a flash for 20 years now. In 2019, we decided we were going to change our name since break fix is only 12.8% of our service revenue now to the name VIP IT. We offer fast help, desk response times, and white glove service. So after a lot of brainstorming, that name seems to fit us best. But as it came down to the wire, we punted the idea for another day and time. We still offer break fix and have a dedicated guy in the field doing just break fix, which is what our name was really designed for back in the day. Out of, I won't give their revenue. We did, let's see, it's about, it's about 10% maybe of their revenue is on break fix. Everything else is managed, not including computer sales and parts. Okay, so obviously projects and stuff. All right, the big question is, does the name Nerds in a Flash make some prospects step back, thinking maybe we're more of a Geek Squad service? Does it in fact affect business at all? Do you like the name VIP IT? By doing the name change, will it significantly drop the revenue for the break fix side? Does Nerds in the Flash make us sound amateur? All these things that wrap around a name change is why we're asking you direct. We have hundreds of reviews on Google and Yelp and have a good name, but as we are scaling, we want to make big moves like this now and in the future. I won't give their revenue goal. All right. So, and I will tell you, they are just, I didn't give their revenue goal, but they are in the top 20% of MSPs. I'll just say that. So, Kelly, here's what I would say to that. And maybe, I don't know, does anyone have thoughts? I mean, I'm curious, like maybe I should just pump this question and see what people think. No, screw it. It's going to take forever. Okay. So first of all, I don't think Nerds in a Flash says break fix to me. I think most companies out there that are customers that are looking for IT services and support, I don't think they really understand break fix managed services as much as we think they do. Okay. So it isn't apparent to me that Nerds in a Flash is like where I would instantly go to break fix. Now, if you like, there's a cell phone franchise, it's like you break, we fix. That probably, yeah, that's probably a break fix. But I don't know that Nerds in a Flash does that, okay? And the other thing you've got to think about is clearly you are succeeding in business. Clearly you have a lot of good reviews. Clearly you have a lot of good name recognition. And to change that arbitrarily because you think it's giving you some sort of perception in the marketplace, I think is a mistake. Because Nike doesn't mean anything until Nike made what Nike is. And Starbucks is a name that doesn't make any sense when you want to associate coffee. So I think the name is whatever you make the name. I mean, TMT, we've recently kind of rebranded the company, still Technology Marketing Toolkit. Back in the day, I created technologymarketingtoolkit.com because the technology marketing were the two keywords that I wanted to be known for, because MSP really wasn't a thing and VAR was, I have other URLs for VAR and stuff, but technology marketing was the key one and it was already taken. Technologymarketing.com was already taken. So I just slapped toolkit on the end of that and called it a day. And I can assure you that nobody has ever said, technology marketing toolkit. Those guys must be for smaller MSPs because of the name. So you make the name what it means. And I would be very hesitant to change it unless you had some concrete evidence where you went out into your marketplace and you polled 1,000 of your potential customers or customers and said, hey, does this mean break fix to you? And again, I don't think most business owners would even be able to answer that because I don't think they understand. They don't even know what break fix is. The other thing I would say is you say, would the name change drop the service revenue on the break fix side? I don't think so. I don't think, I think you're thinking that somebody reads a name and they assume something. There's all kinds of businesses with wacky, weird names. Zappos, what does that have to do with shoes? Has absolutely nothing to do with shoes. So there's all kinds of very successful companies that have these odd names that really do not tie directly to like a certain kind of product. Now, if you want to drop down break fix services, then then sell that, put that on your website in some manner. Here's what we do. Although I don't think you got to get in the weeds that much. You could use the free report templates that we have. that explains what good IT is. We have a ton of them. I just updated the what should you expect to pay for IT support report. Maybe Debbie can put that in the chat here. That will explain the different pricing models and which one's best. And it does sell managed services as being the best. You can back off that what you want. The other thing I will tell you is having a guy or guys as you grow who do break fix is actually, I think, a good thing, because a lot of customers will come to you with a project. The majority are going to come to you with a project, something they need to be fixed. And if you say to that prospect, sorry, Charlie, we only take clients under contract, so we can't even touch you, or we won't touch you unless you sign a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract with us, that is a big, big hurdle to overcome. And I would use break fix services strategically, where I would offer them, where appropriate, to a prospect that meets the criteria of a good client for you. So obviously, if somebody's working out of their garage and they have a laptop that they spilled coffee on and they want you to come fix it for them, if that's not your target profile customer, if that's your target market, small guys working out of their garage, then don't then say, sorry, we can't help you. But let's say a law firm comes to you and they've got 40 employees and they've got some kind of email issue and they're calling you going, hey, you know, we have a guy that kind of does our IT, but he's not doing a great job. And can you help us with this? See, that break fix project I would take, because I would use that to get into the account, land, expand, and colonize. So that is a very strategic use of break fix services. Okay. So I know that was a lot. Hopefully I answered your question here, but yes, my feeling would be, unless you could show me concrete evidence from actual survey data that made sense, and to a large portion of your check giver people, you know, your people who can write you checks, that name is worse than VIPIT, I would not change the name. I also, VIPIT is a little bit hard to say and maybe difficult to put into to a URL. So that's another thing I'm not loving it for. I think you can build the name and the brand with website copy, with great reviews, with great marketing, and not change the name and lose all that goodwill that you've had for 20 years that you've been able to build. And Jeff, I'll add one more. Jeff's getting about to fall asleep. Nerds in a flash. Like, a lot of people call IT people nerds, and that's, you know, that's fine. I don't think it's a negative connotation. I just think it's kind of what they do. In a flash kind of talks about speed, and response time is one of the single biggest reasons why people fire their current IT company. So in a flash, I think it gives this sense of speed. And I wouldn't, my personal opinion, unless you could show me other evidence, again, I'm always open to, maybe I'm wrong if you can show me evidence of the contrary, I would say don't change it. Jeff.
Yeah, so I'd add in there too, is that you got to really consider this of the cost and time, energy, and actual dollars of making that change, of where now you're talking about every single person on your team, of changing out their shirts and their gear and everything that you've got, and
your Google,
all of your
my
different
business profile.
Your
all your social
just
media,
all these
websites,
different things, your website, your logos, and all those things are not cheap, but they're also can be a distraction that goes into it. I mean, Tito mentioned there's a ton of change. I think Tito might have gone through this before, and so you really have to be of where, if you completely screwed up, I think Will Noble's had it of where his was, I forget what it was before vector choice, but it was something that was really stupid. When Will was just younger and stupid versus just older and stupid that he is now.
Buddy, I'm looking at the
Vapor Solutions is what it was, or Vapor Services, and everyone was saying, yeah, that is just a dumb name for an IT company.
Well,
so
vapor,
I mean, that was one of those.
Vaping, which is
vaping or vaporware or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't age well, as Tito says. But it's a major change that you're having to go through, and when you've got that and getting out to all your customers, the only thing that I've seen, you can always hedge something for whatever reason, but this is still a branding, is that I've seen some companies, usually when they have a larger split of target markets, of where they have and let's just say VIPIT. I'm with you. I'm not really huge on the name because of that. It doesn't roll off the tongue. But if you said VIP IT, a service of Nerds in a Flash, of where if that's kind of your higher end, what I've usually seen on that is that if someone is going, if you're going to your typical 100 and less, than your Nerds in a Flash, I don't see it as being a break fix name. I think that's more in your head. I was thinking that, Robin, when you were reading that off. If you're going to kind of a low mid-market type of company and you start to mature because you're a larger company and you start getting into 250 person, 500 person type of deals for whatever reason, that's some strategic, then I think your name may be of where you might want to have a different branding for that offering of that higher size company. But, you know, someone that's a 20, 30, 50 person company, I don't think they're going to look at it and go, Nerds in a Flash, these guys only do at home support or anything like that. There's a lot of companies.
The other thing is,
yeah, go ahead. No,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, you can productize your offering. So in other words, under Nerds in a Flash, you have our VIP, IT services, and this is for these kinds of companies. Then we've got our, I don't know if you want to say budget, but we can have our whatever. So another way to look at this, you have Nerds in a Flash as the brand, just like we have MSP Launch and we have accelerators and we have Producers Club, and these are different products for a journey. So MSP Launch is for MSPs that are startup to under $500,000 in revenue, and they need different things than somebody who's doing $1 million in revenue. That's why we have this, we say, okay, an MSP Launch, here's who it's for, and here's what you get. And then in accelerators, here's who it's for, and here's what you get. And this is, by the way, this is a really important strategy for you to think through as you package your services, and you should package them. When you package your services, package it for who it is for, and if you have different client avatars, small business, let's say, for example, you have one of your target markets is medical. You might have, something in a Flash for medical, or, whatever it is. So think about packaging your services and naming it and saying who it's for, because that instantly makes me feel as though this is right for me. I mean, we were just at the grocery store. One of my girls has a little cold, right? She's a little sore throat. So Dan goes to the grocery store and comes back with all this tea because she likes tea, and we get her honey. And what was kind of interesting is one of the teas he got is a thing called Throat Coat. And Throat Coat is a tea specifically for sore throats. Now, the tea that's in there, is it like any different? Maybe a little bit, but tea is tea. I mean, if you go, there's teas for detoxing, there's teas for weight loss, there's teas for sleep, right? And so you don't just have tea, you don't just have IT services, you have different products that are basically, it's the same damn shit. They just take like leaves and sticks and shit, and they put it in a little bag, and it's like the same stuff. And then they sell it there. It's all marketing, you guys. Yes, some of it's not caffeine, whatever. But the point I'm making is it's not that different, radically different, the stuff. It's a little different. So instead of changing your name, start thinking about packaging your products and saying, who is it for, and giving it a name. And then that's going to, when you're selling, hey, you know what? The perfect product for you is going to be our VIP services, because this is specifically for businesses of your size, with your challenges, your whatever, and then people feel like it's more customized to them.